What's poppin', internet? Welcome to a very special episode of Synced Up Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Timothy DeRoe. Wait, actually, this is a show where we talk about video games, news, and a little fun sandwich in between. You know, I haven't said that in a very long time.
You really haven't, you know.
I'm one of your hosts, Timothy DeRoe, and joining me this week is your boy, Michael Clare, against his will. Anyway. What's up,
Yeah. It's a little hot in here, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hot and heavy, as they say. Before we get to talking about this Final Fantasy anniversary stuff and this Todd Howard interview and this Capcom showcase and the fact that the Nintendo Direct was announced this morning, we are going to do a little bit of housekeeping. If you enjoy the show, you should consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/syncedup, where for $1 you get access to our lovely Discord.
Yep.
Where you get to hear why the podcast is late. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not this time.
Nope.
But last time, you know. Or for $5, you get access to post-show, all the post shows that we do, and many more goodies, all from youtube.com/synceduppodcast and podcasting services around the globe. Especially, you know, if you go over to the youtube.com/synceduppodcast, YouTube channel.
Yeah,
go over there and
you should
view it with your
definitely
eyes.
do that. Don't let me be the only one.
You can see
A little too much.
the freedom. You gotta go look. If you're listening to the audio version, you don't get to know what that means. You have to go to the YouTube channel. You have to subscribe. You have to click the video.
I've been promising something for a long time.
Yeah,
it's
here we are.
finally happened against
Exactly.
my will.
Just a little having a good time. You know, it's being a little free, as they say.
I hate this.
Bless America. Anyway, new episodes of this show specifically go up in all those feeds, usually Monday, 7 a.m. Central Time Zone, gang. But we had a bit of a hiccup, but no hiccups anymore. Now we're just, I can't think of a joke. I can't think of a joke.
There's no jokes to be had. The joke is a visual gag this week. You
Exactly.
Know? I'm not gonna write you.
I try to let it ride, but you know. You can write into the show, synceduppod@gmail.com with, or the Reader Mail Submissions tab of the Discord with any questions, comments, concerns, and we will read those on the show. You should also consider following us on Twitter @synceduppod to keep up to date with all of the content, my good lad.
Wait, did I not say Central Time Zone game?
Oh, no, you missed it, bro.
Fuck,
You were
I'm too
focused,
distracted.
Too distracted by the...
Schlong.
You just decided for the direct...
I'm just being honest, man.
Just distracted by... Oh, desktop audio is blasting something. It just started, so go ahead and mute it.
Jordan's watching porn on the computer.
Jordan's watching... Okay, cool.
Why would you need that when it's all right here?
Exactly. It was probably the backgrounds, you know? Okay. Cool.
Damn.
Anyway, you know, stuff's going wrong this morning. Smoke alarm was going off.
For some reason, it stopped.
It's now-
as we recorded.
It's now off from going off. and
God's blessed us.
we expected y'all to hear a beep every 45 seconds, but didn't happen.
No.
Instead, you can see some meat every 45 seconds.
Stop. No.
It rhymed, you know?
It did. It's kind of fun.
Well, did we get taken down for this?
Will you?
I don't
Can
know.
you?
We've appropriately
Censored.
censored what's going on.
There will no slipping.
Yeah. The main reason is because, I mean, if you can also tell on the visual version of the podcast, I'm fucking red as fuck.
Yeah, explain why you're the
I
way
went,
you are.
For Father's Day, we went to float a river for 4 hours and do some rowing boats.
Yeah.
And then now I'm red. And because
Extremely red.
spray sunscreen's a sham.
It is. I've been telling people for
Cream
years.
sunscreen? That shit worked good.
Use
My
the
face
real
is
stuff.
clear.
Uh-huh.
Spray sunscreen? Fucked me.
Yeah.
Completely dead. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Todd Howard doing an interview with IGN. Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 was announced and some other stuff. Also, Capcom did some things. And also Nintendo, that Nintendo Direct that was leaked. And everyone was like, oh, dude, it's super exciting. It's at the end of the month. It looks like it's actually not that exciting.
We're finally getting the Monday morning news in.
Yeah, I know.
We always miss it.
I always miss the Monday morning news. Anyway, we'll start it off with that Nintendo Direct news. There's going to be a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Nintendo Direct on Thursday.
So this is Alana Pierce said the 29th, right?
Somebody else said the 29th, I thought. And Alana had just said that there was one at the end of the month. And it was like some other guy that leaked that it was the 29th.
Really?
They told me they're doing a Direct 2 weeks in a row. I don't know, man. Have they ever done that?
Let me see. I'm very disappointed if so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to watch it. I want to see the Alana stuff.
Bada bada bing, bada boom, bada bing.
The first source who has confirmed its Nintendo Direct is coming on June 29th. During line, Pierce stated that she had been told the Nintendo Direct.
Okay, she said June 29th.
Yeah, so her source told her June 29th. Yes?
I can't say the address live on air. Ask Adriana for the address.
The address to this
to our new
Hard.
home. That's the other piece of the housekeeping. Yeah, should have went ahead and took care of that. We are in the midst of moving around. Things are being moved. Studio's going to change. The wall color is going to look a little different. Maybe some stuff will be moved around, and maybe we'll miss some pods. Speaking of missing pods, the film cast is just going to be axed this week. Should be good next week. I don't know if we'll have everything set up by Sunday next week. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things happening. Furniture getting sold, furniture getting bought. Things are moving, people moving,
Clothes
different
being
places.
taken off.
Exactly. So maybe we'll have the pod next week. Maybe we will not.
Just there's your heads up. You've been
have
warned.
No idea. There's no way for us to tell until we figure out,
Expect nothing.
what our levels are
Hope
and how
for
much
everything.
we've moved. Anyway, yes. So now,
Nintendo Direct the 22nd is purely Xenoblade.
3.
Hopefully we'll still get one on the 29th.
2 in a row. I don't know, man.
They do that.
Have they?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, usually it's
Partner.
reverse.
Indie
It's
World.
like no. It's like Direct and then Sakurai presents
Pokemon.
Pocket Monsters.
Pokemon Direct.
Speaking of Pocket Monsters,
What? That's not the next.
sheesh.
Who's a monster in your pocket?
You.
Oh,
Oh,
I got a monster in my pocket.
let's
I don't have any
continue.
pockets. Interview with Todd Howard happened at IGN. This is just a little roundup from the Nibelian tweet and then some of the other stuff that happened in that interview. Mike's also going to be eating breakfast during this podcast, so
It's a busy day.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So Nibelian tweeted out a little roundup from the interview with Todd Howard from IGN, starting with Fallout 5 is the next game after Elder Scrolls 6. No fucking surprise there. I don't know why everyone was talking about that. That's completely and utterly obvious. Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production. That means you're not seeing this game for a good 4 to 5 years. Which I thought maybe was more looking like 3, but no.
Nah, fam.
Starfield has more handcrafted content than any Bethesda game. I guess it makes sense, which is good to hear. You know what I mean?
Makes you feel a little better about the planet thing.
New Atlantis is the biggest city Bethesda has ever made, and then also there is no seamless flying. He said it didn't feel like the game needed that. None of that No Man's Sky, get in your ship, you're flying up into the sky, and then you can see all the planets. There will be loading screens or some sort of, you're going to fly and you can walk around your ship while your ship does it for 10 seconds, so it's like a hidden loading screen or something like that, but it will not be a seamless, like No Man's Sky flying.
Maybe it's a whack opinion, but I don't care. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, I don't care either. Some other stuff that happened that he talked about was, I don't know why I put this in the doc, because it's right up here. I don't know what the fuck. But the other stuff was that the planets are handcrafted. The main planets that you'll be visiting are handcrafted, but the good chunks of those planets are procedurally generated. So it's a combination of handcrafted things and procedural generation. This might be okay because the procedural generation is not infinite like No Man's Sky. This procedural generation is a little more contained within 100 systems or whatever, and stuff like that. And then, of course, there's handcrafted things on those planets.
So when they say procedurally generated, it's not like it's going to be different for everybody, right?
No. Just procedurally generated, meaning they used mathematics to create the rest of the planet, so they didn't have to go through and place every tree and every rock. So that kind of eases my mind a little bit to know that, they have used procedural generation for other stuff, and there is a lot of handcrafted stuff, and it's a combination of some on planets. Like the planet that has New Atlantis, they didn't handcraft the whole planet. They handcrafted the main areas, and then the rest was procedurally generated to fit the aesthetic, which is very nice. So hopefully we know the procedural generation is actually popping and we don't see some weird stuff. I imagine they've been testing the fuck out of this game, and one of the big tests they've been doing is just having motherfuckers fly around to look for weird things to try to fix those. So hopefully we get that. There's still going to be a lot of jank though. It's Bethesda, it's still the same engine. You know how it goes. So just get excited for Starfield next year. We did talk about last week on the pod. We did say that Starfield wasn't delayed. That's because they delayed it before, and I just completely forgot. And I remember being like, oh, they didn't delay it, so it's still coming out in December. No, it's coming out next year. I just completely forgot that they delayed it. If you remember, right before I went to the hospital, they delayed Starfield and something else.
Maybe that's what's saying you.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Triggered something deep down.
Yeah, so Starfield and something else was delayed, but I can't remember. But yeah, Starfield's not coming out this year. I was completely mistaken last week. So, correcting the record for you there.
He's come clean.
So, anyway, that's just get excited.
This was the big news.
This next stuff was the big news. The Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary celebration happened. Here was the announcements. I just pulled these from SquareEnix.com. The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth announced the second game in the Final Fantasy VII Remake project has been officially revealed, and it's called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The short teaser for the RPG showed Cloud and Sephiroth traversing an area that's sure to be thrillingly familiar to fans of the original Final Fantasy VII. And for those of you who joined the party with Final Fantasy VII Remake, we will not spoil it here. which is good. Thank you for doing that.
That's nice.
Katase-san also revealed that the series will be a trilogy comprising Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and one final game. What if they do Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3?
They won't do that.
What if they do it?
I think they did that so they can get away with like completely changing the story.
Yes. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will launch next winter on PS5, exclusively on PS5, which is the shit.
That game's gonna look so good.
It's gonna look so good. But yeah, no, I agree with you. If you watch the trailer for this, I'm vaguely familiar with a lot of Final Fantasy VII, the original stuff, but it's completely obvious that in this little teaser that's like a minute and a half, shit is different. I don't want to spoil it here. Skip 15 seconds. Skip 30 seconds if you don't want to hear the spoiler. Aerith, you don't want me? You don't?
No, I don't think I want it either.
Do you know what happens in Final Fantasy VII?
Like the end?
Do you know like the biggest thing that happens in Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, the unavoidable thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Skip 30 seconds if you don't want to hear the spoiler.
Okay.
So in the teaser, she just straight acknowledges her death. Because he's like, oh, you died. She's like, what do you mean I die? I'm supposed to die? And it's like a whole thing. They just straight acknowledge it. So it's completely obvious that we're just fucking completely... We're taking that story and we're saying, fuck it.
So we're actually like thinking it's a sequel at this point.
A sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Or that...
No. I mean, this is a sequel to the original.
Yeah. That's what it's kind of feeling like.
I like that.
No, I like it a lot. Anyway, we're back. No spoilers. Sorry about that. I'm so fucking hyped for this, dude. I want to go watch this teaser again. Obviously, because Final Fantasy VII Remake's my favorite game of all time. I loved it so much. And it coming out next winter. Oof, that's so soon.
When we say next winter, 2022 or 2023?
2023. I assume. Yeah. Because the next one it's coming out this winter anyway. Okay. The next one, which also gets me excited, is a great thing to hold me over until I get to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because I never got to experience the original story to this game because I wasn't into Final Fantasy at the time, but Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. This prequel to Final Fantasy VII focuses on Zack Fair, a Buster Sword-wielding soldier who has a hugely important role in the series that we're definitely not going to talk about here. This new game is a full remaster of the PSP original and brings the game and its unforgettable story up to date for modern platforms. It will launch this winter on PS5, PS4, Series X and S, Xbox One, Steam, and the Switch.
Sweet.
So there are some events that happen in Final Fantasy VII and in Final Fantasy VII Remake that make Crisis Core an important story to digest. Final Fantasy VII Remake felt fine without Crisis Core, but going forward, I told myself I wanted to experience the Crisis Core story, but I don't want to go through the the random battles and the turn-based stuff. Turning it up to 10, taking it, making it look like Final Fantasy VII Remake, giving you that action combat, all that stuff, and just remastering it like a complete remake, so I can actually experience that story, but in this new style. So hyped. And
this is great news.
Good holdover. Coming out this winter. You get to play it this year. That's very, very soon. And then a year later, followed up with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And we just got Intergrade, Oh, so
Speaking
nice.
of.
Exactly. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is also on Steam now. We've heard you ask it, when is Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to Steam? Well, the answer is now.
Today.
It is out now. You can play Intergrade on Steam. Very, very worth it. There is some rumors going around that possibly when Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth drops, that Final Fantasy VII Remake will finally drop on Xbox.
In Game Pass?
No, because of this long exclusivity with PlayStation. I don't think it comes to Game Pass, but maybe it's possible.
Well, Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Kingdom Hearts is on Game Pass. But yeah, because we expected Final Fantasy VII Remake to be on Xbox a year after it dropped on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's still not there. So maybe when the Rebirth comes out, you'll get one, and then maybe when the third one comes out, you'll get two, and then yada going forward. But yeah, dude, this is so hype.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to do it. Because if you give somebody the first one, as soon as the second one comes out, they're going to be more interested in like, shit, I might get a PS5 just so I can play this.
Yeah.
So I think that's the move, is just as soon as the second one drops, release the first one.
Exactly, 100%. So that's super exciting. Staying on the Japanese game company front, the Capcom showcase happened this week as well. And here's all the announcements from that. A brand new trailer for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak opened the show, and a demo is coming out now. The latest footage introduced us to a new area called the Jungle and some of the new creatures that you'll be hunting in the game. Some of them previously appeared in games like Monster Hunter Frontier. The demo is available for both PC and Switch and lets you take on Astalos. I don't know what none of that means, but get hyped if you like those games. I know Isaiah does.
Astalos the big dragon?
Could not fucking tell you, my guy.
No, I think it starts with the R.
Yeah, I think it does as well. The latest Exoprimal trailer showed off more gameplay and announced a closed beta test. The new trailer sets the scene for the action and the different objectives you'll have to complete during matches. While it's a multiplayer-only game, there seems to be a mystery to unravel, which could keep things interesting. Cool.
Sweet.
Dragon's Dogma made an appearance, but nothing was really announced. Hideki Itsuno, the director of the original game, appeared to reveal another stream celebrating the series' 10th anniversary later on, which just happened. Hopefully, we'll see a sequel announcement there, but for now, we really got nothing. And they did. Dragon's Dogma 2 will be coming out, which is crazy because it's been like 18 years since that original game. So, all you Dragon's Dogma boys, get a little hyped. The Resident Evil Village DLC was finally revealed and dated too. Shadows of Rose, the major story expansion where Ethan's daughter Rose enters consciousness of the megamus of the Thing to discover the truth about her powers. Additionally, new playable characters are coming to the Mercenaries, including Lady Dimitrescu herself.
What's the Mercenary?
That's the free-to-play Resident Evil. No, not free-to-play. It's the tacked-on Resident Evil Remake 3 multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
The game will also be adding third-person mode too. It's all coming to the 28th of October. So yeah, you can play through Resident Evil Village in third person, which is weird. We got an extra peek at the Resident Evil 4 remake. Not a lot was shown that we didn't already know, but the director and producer of the game gave us a look at the story and proper gameplay footage to give us an idea of how the remake plays. It's still on track for release in March next year. I didn't get a chance to watch this event, so I will have to go back and watch this to see how different the story is going to be going, if they showed a little bit of the story, because that's my big holdback right now with this thing. The next-gen versions of Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard were released today, or now. Last week. The updates are free and bring support for 4K, higher frame rates, and ray tracing. All these versions are available as free updates to those who already own them on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fall Guys. Free to play on
now.
everything.
Yeah, that was announced today, this morning.
That's pretty cool. I think that's it.
That's all the news, my guy.
Pretty normal news week.
We'll have a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct, I guess, to talk about. Mike can talk about that. He's hyped for that game.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. I want to see some more gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's it for the news. Time for This Week in Gaming.
This Week in Gaming.
June 20th. Nothing really.
Nothing.
Nothing really. Dude,
Damn.
people just don't release stuff in the summer, man. That's a modern
summer.
thing. June 21st, Destroy All Humans in 2005.
Classic.
Ooh. June 22nd, Quake
This is a good
in
day.
1996. Psychonauts in 2005. Rock Band in 2008. And Mario Tennis Aces in 2018.
Yes, sir.
June 23rd, you have Sonic the Hedgehog in 2001, Batman Arkham Knight in 2015. On the 24th, you didn't really have anything of note. And then it's been a year since Mario Golf on the 25th, 2021.
Remember how
I thought that
hyped you
game
were?
Yeah, I thought that game came out 4 months ago.
Nah.
Anyway, June 26th, also nothing of note. The summer is dry as fuck.
Yep. Nothing. We're not even playing anything right now.
I know, there's nothing to play.
It's Minecraft season. It's Pokemon season. That's it.
It's backlog season. I beat a lot of shit on my backlog and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, time for the what you've been playing session.
Yada does it.
I finished Horizon. I don't know if I talked about that last week, but I included it in here because I finished it. It was okay.
That's it?
I mean, I really dove in deep last week, so I don't really have anything else to say. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of just okay. And then we've been playing a lot of one block Minecraft, and that's been kind of fun.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's cool that we can do that stuff on Xbox now.
Yeah,
Because it used to be
those like modded things.
yeah, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
going
enjoyable.
in without y'all and
Yeah.
upgrading some stuff. It's fun.
Yes. Cool.
I'll recommend.
Yeah, you got one block, you break it, it respawns, it drops the block, you don't die. Then eventually you build that block out, and then you keep mining that block, and it gets crazier and crazier, and brings you more, higher rarity stuff and different biome stuff, and then you build out your little base, and you get mobs, and you try stuff. But anyway, it's cool.
I forgot
Yeah, that
that you're naked.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Anyway,
happens.
now it's time for reader mail. Oh, you played anything else?
I've been doing the Pokemon stuff. I've been upgrading the living decks.
Yeah.
Because
You've been
as
going hard.
we've explained before, living decks, just one copy each Pokemon. I've evolved living form decks,
To master.
where it's one of
set.
every visually different Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like,
Well,
there-
what? So you said something about female forms. So you're not
Yeah.
getting all female forms, just the ones that look different.
yeah. So there's 111 Pokemon
Okay.
that have female forms that are
They're
different than the
slightly
male
different,
form.
like a Pikachu
yeah,
and stuff.
like Venusaur. Yeah, Pikachu's tail turns into a little heart instead of
Yeah.
a little thing. Venusaur has a little like bulb on top of its
Mhm.
flower. So things like that. There's 100 of those.
Okay.
I got all the Galarian, Alolan,
All-
Hisuian forms.
Yeah.
And then there's like Rotom has
Yeah.
like 5 different forms. So I'll get all 5
You're
forms.
missing Zeraora,
Zeraora is the only non-shiny Pokemon I'm missing.
and you can't catch them in a game.
You can't get it's event exclusive, and it was an event exclusive in like 2018 or 2019.
So Pokemon Go,
Huh?
or for just
In Ultra
Sun
Sun,
and Moon?
Ultra Moon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And so they haven't done that event again. But then
Was
they
it-
did an event in Sword and Shield, but it was only the shiny version. So I
Mhm.
have the shiny version. I just don't have.
Was
the
it like
norm.
one of those GameStop code?
Yeah, and it was like for like 2 weeks.
Damn.
So it's like
So yeah,
incredibly hard.
pretty much.
I need them to do another event
Yeah.
for me to get my own
It's been
copy.
4 years. I don't know.
Dude, they do them like every now and then. Usually they do it on the anniversaries.
Mm-hmm.
So like what we just had 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
They didn't do it this year. 20th anniversary, they gave you every mythical. Like you could go to GameStop each month and you'd get a different mythical.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
So maybe they'll do something like that again. They need to, because it's like some of these Pokemon are so hard to
maybe
get.
it'll just be catchable in a game or something.
I don't think they do that. If they remade like Sun and Moon for some reason,
Yeah,
then they'd probably do it. Because like you can get Shaman and Darkrai and Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and those are mythicals. But it's stupid.
Yeah.
I should be able to like have a way to get it.
Yeah.
Even if I would like replay a whole game just to get it.
Yeah.
But they can't do that.
So we're on the road to that.
Yeah.
Now it's time for Reader Mail. You can get your questions right on the show by writing in to synceduppod@gmail.com or the Reader Mail submissions tab of the Discord with any questions, comments, or concerns. We will read those on the show.
Yes, sir.
Lucas writes in, when was the last time you let credits roll for a game? I just finished Kingdom Hearts 3, and I just had to let the credits roll after all these years that I put into the franchise. I do it every time.
Yeah, I usually don't skip.
Every single time.
If it gets to the credits where it's just like the black screen and it's rolling, I don't skip. But as long as there's something going on.
Most of the time, there's like some music or some visual stuff.
It's like pictures of like your journey.
It lets you digest what you just did.
Yeah.
So.
But if it's just the black screen and scrolling, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. No, I'll let it roll every single time.
Nah.
Sorry
Half the time.
the lame answer,
50%.
That's what I do.
Oh.
Spencer writes in, with all the delays in non-AAA titles in the near future, keep in mind this was written in a month ago, could this be the year that we tackle our backlogs and finally dive into games that have been on that ever-expanding to playlist? Right now, I'm playing through the Citizen Sleeper, 10 out of 10, but after I'm done with nothing coming up in the near future, I think I will finally take the time to dive into the Yakuza Like a Dragon. Spoiler alert, Spencer did not do that. He's now playing Dragon Age, which is cool. Yeah, no, it's
But
fucking
still,
backlog
yes.
season. Yeah, I mean, it was written in a month ago, so it took us a while to get to it. But yeah, if you just go back 3 episodes on the podcast, I spent ages talking about the 15 games that I beat.
I really don't have backlog season. I just have like Pokemon season.
Yeah.
So I'm in Pokemon season right now.
I have a little bit of a backlog season, but there's still to a certain degree that I just will not. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not going back. Because I have like a list of like, I want to play all these games, but then I look at it and I'm like, I'm not going to play these games. I'm just going to play Minecraft One Block.
It's like, yeah, Horizon kind of on my backlog, but I've seen you both play it. I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, you
now.
pretty much watched
I don't need to play it. Like games like that I've seen people play. Like I wanted to play the Quarry. I just watched somebody play it.
Yeah, Corey.
I'm not going to play that.
For 60 racks, man.
Yeah, that game looks dog for the money.
Does.
It's not. It doesn't look nearly as fun as Until Dawn.
Yeah.
And the guy I watched play the Quarry went and played Until Dawn after. It's just better.
Yeah, there's a lot more interactivity with Until Dawn as well.
Anyway,
that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you for watching or listening.
I'm Mike. I'm full.
Mike's full. Oh shit.
That's Tim. He's naked.
Yeah, I'm naked. We're gonna do the post show. So if you support us on Patreon, patreon.com/syncedup for $5, you get to see us do the post show. And if you don't, you get to see us next week, maybe, or the week after, maybe.
Hey, post show. I'm just saying those bars are coming off.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Goodbye.